something that we haven't necessarily done before. I'm going to go ahead and lead us in here by looking at this. This is a poll recently that I held on our X page. And what I did on that one, basically the Cowboys, they hired a new head coach. They hired Schottenheimer. A very interesting choice. That's what we'll leave it at for sure. I posted on there. It's a safe pace. Cowboys fans, what do you think? Great choice, bad choice. Who other? You see bad choice. Were they comfortable win at 45% with who? Followed shortly behind there before. Our good friend Kelcey, as you all know, has been a lifelong Cowboys fan, for better and for worse, mostly for worse. And if you scroll down a little bit further, you see he was not happy about that. And on top of that, he is officially renouncing his Cowboys allegiance. He is now entering the transfer portal. So that leaves us with 32 teams available, a full 32 different eligible bachelors and bachelorettes vying for the opportunity to court Kelcey to their team. So without further ado, we are now going to introduce a new segment for our show, a first in a very long time, and hopefully the last, honestly. Hopefully we aren't doing this too much more often. We are courting Kelcey. Kelcey, welcome back to the stage, my good friend. You're starting out your day in an abusive relationship with the Cowboys. By the end of this show, you might have somebody else in your life. We are courting Kelcey NFL edition. How do we feel, sir? Back on the market.
Yeah, it's been over 2 decades. I don't know what to feel. Heartbroken, but I'm ready to mend. I think I'm ready to mend on this one, but I'm heartbroken at the same time. You know, I had to put on the nice polo for this one. A little bit of a suit coat. It doesn't really sit well. I didn't have time to fully press it yet. Sorry, guys. I've been recovering for the last 3 days after the terrible news coming out of Dallas. So I had to mend. I'm ready to mend.
Look, you've suffered a lot. You can only have your heart broken so many times before you eventually just have to move forward and cut it loose. The first step is healing. The second part is getting yourself back out there. You can't let this bring you down forever. But you have 32 teams, which means you have 32 eligible bachelorettes out there. But don't take it from me. You can take it for some of our good friends as well, too, that are going to be trying recruiting you to their fandom. We're going to go and start with our good friend Matt Ordazzo from the corner booth. He's going to recruit you on behalf of the New York Jets.
Matt with the Corner Booth Podcast is here to recruit Kelcey Coyne to be the newest fan of the New York Jets franchise. Now, give you a little spoiler. It's not going to be positive recruitment, but I think I can get this done. Kelcey, as a Cowboys fan, I know you got a lot of pain. I know there's a lot of miserable years, a lot of miserable Sundays, a lot of painful seasons, and I get it. Trust me, I fully understand. I'm here to take all that pain and miserable and stress away from you. Every Sunday from September to February, as a New York Jets fan, you can enjoy football. As a Jets fan, we expect to be bad. And that's our expectations, is to be bad. And we exceed it every year. So in a sense, we reach the goal every year as a Jets fan. We don't worry about Sundays. It's stress-free, pain-free Sundays. We know we're going to lose. We lose. We move on to the next handful of 1 o'clock, 4 o'clock night games. We enjoy them all. We were able to just endure the suffering of losing a game and immediately move to the next game within 5 minutes and enjoy that game and forget whatever just happened. It's great. So, pain-free, stress-free, easy-going September through February Sundays. That is what I can supply as a Jets fan. You always know you're not going to be good, so you don't have to worry about expecting to be good. Every now and then you get one good season, that's about it. There is room for one more on the couch, Kels. All you got to do is be that one more. Join the JETS Jets, Kels.
He makes one heck of an argument, and they did recently bring in your boy Aaron Glenn. So you know what? There might be a little bit something there.
Yeah, a little bit of tear to the eye when he said pain-free and stress-free. That sounds fantastic. I don't know what a Sunday like that has felt like in a long time. I don't know how I feel about the expecting to suck part. I've already kind of expected the Cowboys to suck as the most negative Cowboys fan in existence. So now that that's past me, I don't know if I want to move to a team where I'm expecting them to suck continuously again. Maybe a little bit of positivity and hope. That sounds good. But you know what? I don't hate the Jets pitch. And coming from Matt, I obviously love Matt Ordazzo a lot. So I appreciate Matt sending that over. As a Jets fan, I know he's been through a lot, so I sympathize. But I don't know if I'm ready to join that bandwagon just yet. I don't know yet.
Hey, you know what? We got 31 other bachelorettes on the table for you. We're going through a handful today and plenty more to come through in the oncoming weeks. The next one, though, when when something really hurts, you want to go to somebody that matters to you. You want to go to somebody important. And I thought, who would be somebody that I would trust in this situation? So I recruited the help of my own mother to help us with this. She
Oh,
is a
okay.
Raiders fan, and I asked her politely, you know what? I think this is what Kelcey's going through. What do you think? And on behalf of the Raiders, she has sent a recruiting pitch, and I quote, don't. So that is her pitch to have you join the Raiders. But in all seriousness, you have the likes of Brock Bowers. You do have a potential new quarterback on the horizon. And you know what? There is some hope there too. You do have Tom Brady in the ownership group as far as winning goes. That's a good start. Your owner does look a little bit goofy, but that's okay. You're used to that. And Vegas, baby. It's Vegas, baby. And Mad Max Crosby. So there is something there, despite the positive outlook from DJ's own mom as far as being a Raiders fan goes. But Kelcey, the Raiders, and you get to say Raiders in very goofy accents, and no one judges you.
Yeah, I don't know if that's enough for me to outweigh the advice of both your mom and my mom, who, by the way, is a Raiders fan, and her response also was don't. So that's two Raiders fans saying don't, and one of them is responsible for half of my DNA, and the other is responsible for the other half of our fans for the show. So yeah, I might have to listen to both moms on this one and just say probably not. But I appreciate the Raiders for giving an opportunity for me to join their storied fan base. But honestly, Mark Davis might be the one guy I've probably complained about more than Jerry Jones.
Hold that thought on there, because this next pitch we're going to have is another person you have complained about, but I think he makes a very interesting pitch with a very interesting bat drop that I think will hit you right in the heart. Here's Kevin telling you to join the Patriots fandom.
Hey, Kelcey. Here you're looking for a new team. And obviously I'm a Patriots fan. I know this is one of your, no, I'm not rooting for the Patriots. And I could talk to you about the rings. I could talk to you about the great players we've had. Tom Brady, probably not a great one to start off with considering your feelings. Andre Tippett going back. You have John Hanna, probably the greatest guard in NFL history. I'm not going to talk about that. You have that with the Cowboys. That's not going to sway your opinion. I want to talk to you about culture, not the Patriot way or anything like that. I want to talk to you about culture shock. You cannot go from a team like the Cowboys, who are, let's be honest, a bunch of has-beens. Patriots, similar but a little bit closer. You cannot go to a team that's been winning lately, that you won't know how to handle it. With the Patriots, you still have that winning mentality where you can go, that's nice that you won a division championship. We have more. So keeping that kind of same mentality but bringing it into the 21st century will be great for you. Additionally, ownership. They're very similar. Both probably have dementia. Both want to do it their way. They want all the credit for it unless it goes bad. Then it can't be their fault. And the benefit of Kraft over Jerry Jones is everyone gets a happy ending with Bob. So I think the Patriots really should be your next.
All right, so Kevin makes a very strong argument there. So, where some things are different, they can also be similar, and that could be the path to moving forward.
You know, I'm glad we went from our segment about the worst dynasties right into the Patriots proposal for me to join their team, because this is so much more fun. Because I literally just trashed half of the things he talked about, but he's on the same boat. So I love that. I love that from Kev. That's amazing. Yeah, I don't know if I'm swayed by all the hilarity of that. I might be pushed the other way because of the Alabama backdrop behind it, because that just tells me like too used to winning. Like I'm not prepared to join that. I already don't like Alabama. Maybe I continue that by not liking the Patriots, but I do love the rest of that because he's right. I don't know if I can join a winner. I don't know if I'm ready for that type of commitment yet, because that's a lot. Like there's a lot to hold up to that, because as we just talked about Kansas City fans, they don't know how to handle winning. Would I be the same way? Would I turn into that type of fan? I don't know yet. But yeah, thank you, Kev. Patriots are in consideration. They've gone from 32 to maybe somewhere in the middle. So now I might have to consider the Patriots seriously here.
Hey, you know what, too? You said you're not really used to winning, so that's going to take us to the next one we have here, and that's going to be me. I'm going to pitch you on the Colts. I'm going to keep it relatively quick and painless, though. One thing you talked about, you need to somewhat have some familiarity. You're trying to get away from it, but you can't completely go polar opposite. That's how you get in trouble, and you end up like the Jets, who just hire complete opposite coaches historically. You need to keep some familiarities with some significant changes. Ownership, you get to keep a mess of an owner. You get to keep that, but a slightly different type of a mess. And frankly, Irsay needs a golf cart to get around the stadium nowadays. It might not be that much longer. His daughter might be taken over sooner than later, so it might be able to bridge the gap there. Incompetent GM. You're used to that, but at least this one didn't get in there on nepotism directly. It's like he's the adopted son at this point, so it's not direct nepotism. It's like nepotism adjacent at this point. Creativity, they do find some unique ways to lose. Zeke at center, Pat McAfee at center, like there's some similarities there. The fake punt on 4th and 2 with 1 lineman against 3 defensive linemen and a safety taking the snap from many years ago. So you know what? There's a little bit of fun there. Quarterbacks getting destroyed. Tony Romo, Andrew Luck, really good quarterbacks, unfortunately getting destroyed. Pain. Offensive line play. You do love yourself some Zach Martin. Who do you love probably second best to Zach Martin? You can make a case for Quentin Nelson. So you do got that right there front and center. Plus Tanner Bortolini as well. There's and your boy Braden Smith, who currently is there, was held on that last. There's a lot to like there as a former offensive lineman. There is talent there. That to the point of kind of disappoints you when they keep letting you down after a while. However, that division stinks enough that it just might turn around at any given moment. So when you least expect it, you don't have an Eagles that is constantly a thorn in your side. The only thorn in your side is winning in Jacksonville. But other than that, that's the only time that's one game of the year. And they don't really take the division from you because of that. They just annoy you later on. There's a lot. And on top of that, you get to claim tradition similar to the Patriots in recent history of being decent with the Peyton Manning and Andrew Luck eras. A lot more recent than your Cowboys history. Not quite as good as the Patriots, but there's not an Alabama backdrop. So you get a little bit of something to go with that. And you know what? You've been in Indianapolis. You didn't hate it there. Wasn't the worst place you've ever been in life. So there's some room near the house that Peyton built if you want to come on down.
Yeah, they do have some of the best fried chicken I've ever had, which is not what I think I would ever say about Indiana.
Not until you tried. It sounds blasphemous, and the cornbread too. Like I can't believe we're saying this out loud.
Wow. Maybe I am I need to turn in my Alabama card here. But no, you know what? I don't hate the Colts at all. It's not a culture shock for me as well from color scheme. The blue and white, very similar to the 7 colors of blue and white, and silver, I guess, is part of it.
The two most bland uniforms in the NFL.
Yeah.
So you're
and
used to that.
simple logos. Like you take a star and you turn it into a lucky horseshoe. Like, oh, okay, all right. Well, I can deal with that too. Like maybe a little luck in my life wouldn't hurt. Unfortunately, it's not Andrew Luck, but you know what? I do get Captain Andrew Luck. He's made his comeback, so that's the important part. And I don't know. The Colts are up there. Obviously, I've always had a soft spot for linemen, and the lineman history in Indy has always been a top tier thing. So I'm not against the Colts.
You know what? There's room for you, and we're going to stick in the NFC South for this next team that is trying to court Kelcey. We're going to go down to the 2 back-to-back division-winning Houston Texans, and our good friend Hector from Insert Name FC is going to pitch Kelcey on joining the Texans fandom.
You're looking for a new team, right? There is a team down 45 that maybe you'll be intrigued to look for, and that is, of course, my beloved Houston Texans. So let me tell you some things to be excited about when it comes to H-Town. For starters, the Texans are the youngest team in the NFL, but already has a short history of some great players. Andre Johnson, the first Hall of Famer in Texans history. And let's be honest, J.J. Watt ain't that far away from it either. Now, I understand that the Texans haven't gone past the divisional round of the playoffs, but, I mean, the way this team is looking, it's only a matter of time. A new culture has arisen, obviously, with D'Amico Ryans going into his 3rd year as head coach. Really good for the first 2 years, and hopefully he can follow it up in the 3rd year. Along with, of course, C.J. Stroud, a guy that won Rookie of the Year his first season, number 2 pick overall. And, of course, his partner, Will Anderson Jr., who was drafted immediately after him. A very young team with a head coach that the team very much feeds off of. And I know the worries from this previous season that they didn't look great offensively. Well, Bobby Slowick did get fired, so there is hope that there's going to be a new offensive coordinator that can really put the Texans in the right direction. This is a young team, a lot of potential, can hopefully take that next step forward. So if I was you, maybe join the bandwagon early before things start happening for this team, because things will happen. And if you need to make anything else to be sweeter about this team, the ownership group is great. Like I said, the Texans have a really good culture now. No more the days of the Bill O'Brien, Jack Easterby era. Now it is a healthy culture. The fan base who loves Cal McNair, who has embraced the city of Houston, and also the First Lady, Hannah McNair, which the whole city of Houston is prepared to risk it all for you. Bog me if you want to. Hopefully I've answered your questions. Hopefully this is enough to want you to join H-Town's finest, the Houston Texans.
A very, very strong argument indeed. Using ownership group in a different way than we have seen so far. Bonk included along the way as well, but Houston Texans along there, possibly an option now going down to H-Town.
I do love the new uniforms for the Texans. As you know, I'm a huge fan of quality uniform combinations. Love the Texans uniforms, first of all. Second, love D'Amico Ryans as a head coach. Love CJ Stroud as a quarterback in the NFL. He did take a step back this year, like I predicted, but that's okay because it's just what it is. It's just how it happens. When you go from exceptional, you're going to only go one way, and it's not to become more exceptional. You can only just become more average, and that's okay because next year he's got a potential for explosion. Will Anderson, a fantastic player. No, I love the Texans pitch from using the fan base and using the ownership in his advantage. I don't know what it's like to have a good owner. What is that? What is that like? What does it mean to support an owner? Like, hold on here. I might want to risk it all for somebody that's part of their ownership group. The only thing I want to risk potentially as a Cowboys fan is a jail time. But in this case, all right, I could have a conversation about this. Don't know how I'd feel staying in the state of Texas. But you know what? That's okay because there's a lot of positives there. I like the Texans pitch. Unfortunately, DJ, as the Colts fan, I'm sorry, I might be leaning Texans more than Colts here.
Look, I can't even really blame you at this point either. Don't forget, Texas is a big state, so Houston and Dallas, that's a long gap between, so you could think of it that way as well. We're not done yet, though. We have only gone through 5 teams. We're not going through all 32 today. That is a lot. We're going to continue this as a continuing series, but we do got one more from our very good friend, one of the smartest men we know, and someone who, well, his nickname is the Pain Train because he has gone through some pain, and he is always as positive as it gets. Our good friend Zach Heilman is going to pitch Kelcey on the Bears.
What's happening, Kelcey? It's Zach here. I hear you need a new fan base. Well, let me tell you, this is the perfect time to join along with me on your side as a Chicago Bears fan. Bearing down, join in with the folks off the lakefront. Hey, look, you got the perfect chance to get in on an opportunity where a team getting the best offensive coordinator in the game now is picking up as their head coach, along with an amazing staff coming into town. Dennis Allen is your defensive coordinator. Antoine Randall is the assistant head coach and an up-and-comer himself, plus a loaded roster and one of the top young quarterback prospects in the NFL with tons of potential in this Ben Johnson run offense. Did I mention DJ Moore? Did I mention Rome Odunze? Did I mention Cole Kmet? And plenty of defensive talents, plus top 5 in cap space this coming off season. We got tons of upside. You got to join us. Trust me. Bear down, man. This is your time right now to join the Chicago Bears, the founding team, the original, the OG, the first ever to do it, and the one responsible for getting this league off the ground.
You know what? He's got history on his side. He's got charisma on his side. He's got excitement. He's got some really good points on top of it. And you know what? You live by the lake. You might have to pick a team that is also by the lake.
Yeah, he's also got the mustache going for him. Good look, by the way, Zach. Shout out to you.
Yeah,
gives a little extra bonus points to the pitch.
Is that Zach Heilman or Tom Selleck? I might have picked the wrong video.
Right? Exactly. I don't know if this is football anymore. We're trying to pick here. No, I you know what? The Bears have a really good case for themselves. One Hallis Way is historic. It is an absolutely fantastic location. It's a historic franchise. Unfortunately, it's historically bad recently too, and I think I've talked enough trash about quarterbacks. So hopefully, with Ben Johnson, there's a lot of positives coming in. There's a lot of hope. I do love Ben Johnson. I do love a lot of his coaching staff. I love Antoine Randall as a player. Dennis Allen, I'm 50-50 on. I like him more as a coordinator. But you know what? I don't know what it's like to like a head coach, to like an assistant coach, to like 2 assistant coaches. What is that like? I don't know. Still don't love the whole situation in the ownership, though. Having a GM and a CEO, that's really weird in the NFL. I get why you do it, but kind of weird. But no, I you know what? The pitch from Zach, the DJ Moore call, the Rome Odunze call, I'm a big fan of both of those guys. Cole Kmet, I think, is an underutilized weapon. Don't like the Caleb Williams part, obviously, but that's just because I didn't think he was going to be that good of a rookie anyways. But you know what? The rest of that team is building something. I do love the idea of going, not too far away. It's a nice city. There's a big hub. There's an airport there that fly in and out of for super cheap. I don't hate the idea of going to Chicago as a fan. That's a consideration. I appreciate Zach for that one. I gave me some points to think about there.
Hey, you know what? We have heard 6 different pitches today from 6 very different teams, but there is still plenty more to go. We are just getting started. If my math is correct, and I am no mathematician, we got 28 teams left to go. Anyone who's listening, you could be part of it too. Be sure to send your video pitch to us on any of our socials as well. We would be glad to hear them with a chance to make it. From now moving forward until we get through all teams and get till Kelcey gets the time to go through it all, we'll be having one new edition every crunch time for every show moving forward. Plan is to have it announced before the start of next season, maybe the Fantasy Football Expo. We'll announce it there. We'll wait and see. It depends how long it takes for Kelcey's heart to fully mend and for him to make a decision. It's a big decision that could affect him for roughly 6 to 7 months out of the year. So we got to make sure everything is taken care of, and we got the NFL draft that could play a part in it as well too. So be sure to send us what you think who Kelcey's next NFL love affair should be. Be sure to tune in every week for that in crunch time. But